Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are stepping right off the pitch and into the stands. Well, actually, scratch that. We're stepping into the local cafe. We're going to break down the anatomy of a hyper-realistic cinematic video that completely captures the raw, unfiltered chaos of fans reacting to an intense IPL 2026 showdown between Lucknow and Bangalore. Let's dive right in. I want you to think about this for a second. What actually happens when you collide hyper-realistic filmmaking with the pure, unhinged emotion of a massive IPL rivalry? You don't just get a standard sports reaction video, you get an absolute psychological documentary. By using a handheld camera feel and natural light, this style literally pulls you right into the room, making you feel every single heartbeat of Indian cricket culture.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the Stadium Cafe atmosphere.
Right off the bat, you've got this absolutely perfect contrast between our two main guys. On one side, there's the RCB supporter in the red jersey. He's emotional, deeply energetic, pretty dramatic, and basically living and dying on every single delivery. And then sitting right across the table, you have the LSG fan in blue, confident, witty, and exceptionally loud. We are watching two totally different psychological approaches to fandom clashing in real time. It's fascinating. And the setting itself? Oh, it is a complete sensory overload. The video uses the cafe's neon lighting, bouncing off waving hands and scattered snacks, to create this incredibly authentic vibe. You've got multiple TV screens flashing broadcast graphics everywhere, but honestly, it's the audio that really hooks you. The crisp crack of the bat, layered underneath deafening whistles and cafe cheers, makes you feel like you are literally sitting at the table next to them.
The authenticity truly shines in the dialogue, too. We hear all the pre-match banter and toss discussions, and then, amidst the shouts of power play and strike rate, the script uses super authentic slang like alpha moment. If you know cricket, you know this is the exact phrase passionate fans use when one team just completely takes the wind out of the other. It really grounds all that cinematic drama in pure realism.
Moving right along, let's look at Section 2, LSG's explosive first innings. Narratively, this whole innings builds like a giant pressure cooker. It kicks off with a super aggressive power play for LSG, fast boundaries mixed with the sudden tension of early wickets. Then, in the middle overs, the vibe shifts to tactical banter, partnership building, and this mounting scoreboard anxiety. Finally, we hit the death overs, those high-stakes final deliveries filled with suffocating crowd tension in really dramatic close-ups. And right in the middle of all that, you have this massive standout sequence from Mitchell Marsh. He is just dominating the innings, playing these explosive shots all around the ground. The visuals capture the sheer power of his batting as he launches massive sixes directly into the stadium crowd. This obviously sends the blue jersey-wearing LSG fan into a state of absolute euphoria, while the red jersey-wearing RCB fan is just watching in stressed disbelief. To really make us feel the weight of Marsh's impact, the cinematography kicks into high gear here. We get these dynamic camera cuts that emphasize the sudden momentum swings happening right inside the cafe. You see highly expressive, realistic fan reactions to dropped catches, hands on heads, exasperated shouts. And beautifully, the video employs slow-motion sequences for those towering sixes and crucial wicket reactions, freezing the pure emotion on the fans' faces just long enough to heighten that sports drama. Then, as we reach the climax of the first innings, Rishabh Pant steps up and takes complete control. The editing becomes almost frenetic, matching his intense, big hitting against a relentless barrage of targeted Yorkers. The audio mix swells with loud cheering, pushing in for tight, dramatic close-ups on our fans as every single ball becomes its own mini-event. All that explosive batting builds up to this flashing graphic on the scoreboard. 209 for 3 in just 19 overs. That is an absolute mountain for RCB to climb. It's the exact kind of scoreboard pressure that makes you want to nervously order 3 more coffees, right? It perfectly sets the stage for the second half. So that brings us to Section 3, the RCB run chase. The narrative arc of this run chase is literally a roller coaster. The early overs give RCB some serious power play momentum with stylish boundaries, but it is immediately undercut by a massive emotional blow, Virat Kohli's early wicket. That draws a completely visceral reaction from the RCB fan. But then, in the middle overs, Raja Patidar steps up and starts rebuilding the chase with incredibly confident stroke play. This steadily brings the hope back into the room until we reach the late overs where things get really crazy. The turning point is just pure adrenaline. Tim David launches a super dangerous late assault, hitting huge sixes that literally make the cafe erupt. The audio floods with emotional shouting, perfectly capturing the exact second the RCB fan realizes a miraculous victory might actually happen. Which drops us right into Section 4, a nail-biting DLS climax. Notice how the director actually orchestrates this tense, weather-affected DLS climax. First, the camera traps us with sweating faces and nail-biting reactions from the shouting fans. Then, rapid editing syncs perfectly with flashing, close-up score graphics. As the energetic background music swells over the stadium noise, the breaking point hits. Prince Yadav takes crucial wickets, instantly ripping the momentum and the game firmly back toward Lucknow. And then the final scoreboard flashes. RCB finishes up a really valiant fight at 203 for 6, but LSG secures a dramatic 9-run victory via that rain-adjusted DLS math. The tension in the room suddenly just breaks. The numbers solidify the end of an incredible, emotionally exhausting match for both the players on the screen and our two exhausted fans in the cafe.
Which brings us to our final section, fandom and cinematic realism.
Honestly, the most crucial part of this entire piece happens right here, in the aftermath. The video ends not with intense screaming, but with an emotional summary. The RCB fan is processing deep disappointment, quietly reflecting on those unbearable pressure moments. Beside him, the LSG fan is celebrating a massive triumph, praising the standout match-winning performances. But you know what's cool? Despite the fierce rivalry, they are united in this shared cathartic come-down after witnessing an absolute thriller together.
I want to leave you all with a thought. When you look at a cinematic breakdown like this, you really have to wonder, is the true magic of sports found entirely out there on the pitch, or does it actually live in the hyper-realistic shared emotions of the fans? The people living and dying on every single ball from the edge of their seats in a neon-lit cafe. It really shows the incredible power of sports documentary storytelling. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this breakdown offered a fascinating new perspective on how we capture the beautiful game. Keep analyzing, keep observing, and I'll catch you next time.